It's in the smartphones we grab the second we wake up. It's steering the navigation systems in our cars. It's literally in our hospitals, quietly helping doctors catch diseases before they even become critical. I mean, it is everywhere, right? But if we look past the flashy headlines and the sci-fi tropes for a minute, what are the actual mechanics driving this massive revolution? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to strip away the buzzwords and take a hard look at the core architecture of AI.
To truly wrap our heads around a subject this complex, we kind of have to look at its contrasts. So, today we are diving into the powerful dichotomies that really define artificial intelligence. We're talking about the stark boundaries between what it can do right now, what it might do in the future, and crucially, how it actually processes information under the hood.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First up, decoding AI. Second, narrow versus general AI. Then we'll hit generative versus discriminative AI. And finally, we'll wrap up with ethical impacts and guardrails. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Decoding AI. Let's establish our factual baseline. So we all know the textbook baseline, right? AI is essentially computer systems mimicking human cognitive functions, things like learning and problem solving. But here's the thing to remember. It is not magic. Not at all. It is entirely about processing just vast amounts of data to recognize patterns rather than relying on explicit step-by-step programming from a human.
And this brilliantly illustrates the heart of that pattern recognition: neural networks. Modeled directly after the interconnected nodes in your own brain, these deep learning networks rely on layers. You've got an input layer, then often hundreds of hidden layers, which is where the real heavy analytical lifting happens, and finally, an output layer. This biological inspiration is exactly what allows these systems to process incredible nuance. I'm talking about everything from recognizing a specific face in a crowd to understanding the subtle tone in human speech.
Moving right along to Section 2, narrow versus general AI. This is the grand boundary of the field. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between current reality and future theory. On one side, we have narrow AI, sometimes called weak AI. It's incredibly efficient, but it's completely tracked within specific, predefined domains. It can't just transfer its knowledge to a new topic. On the flip side is general AI, or AGI. This is the theoretical holy grail, right? Broad, multifunctional, capable of total human-like adaptability across literally any intellectual problem. But to be clear, right now, general AI is strictly theoretical, while narrow AI is the engine actually running our modern world. To put that gap into perspective, just look at this steep drop-off in current capabilities. When it comes to a very specific task, say playing chess or identifying a tumor, current narrow AI operates at roughly a 95% capability level compared to human benchmarks. That's huge. But shift that over to contextual understanding, it plummets to 30%, and general problem solving, a mere 15%. It is a perfect visualization of how algorithms can be simultaneously brilliant at targeting one thing, yet severely lacking when it comes to adaptable reasoning.
Let's ground this concept in reality. You actually interact with these highly efficient, narrow algorithms every single day. When your phone unlocks just by scanning your face, yep, that's narrow AI. When a doctor uses software to quickly process big data for disease detection, narrow AI. The virtual assistants we constantly talk to, like Siri, Alexa, or Cortana, they use natural language processing just to answer our specific questions. Even those scarily accurate recommender systems on Netflix or Amazon that always seem to know exactly what you want next, all of them are perfect examples of narrow AI focusing relentlessly on one single defined task.
Okay, Section 3, generative versus discriminative AI. Let's zoom in on the micro applications.
So the absolute easiest way to differentiate the models we interact with daily is to think of them as the artist versus the detective. The main goal of generative AI, our artist, is to simulate completely new data. Its output is creative, which actually requires immense complexity to understand entire data distributions. Conversely, discriminative AI, the detective, is built to classify or predict. It outputs labels and decisions, basically figuring out the boundary between categories. It prioritizes accuracy and efficiency way over creative complexity.
Because discriminative AI models the relationship between input features and outputs directly, it absolutely excels at classification tasks.
The detective is hard at work when your email provider automatically filters that annoying spam out of your inbox. It's the silent guardian in banking, scanning transaction data for fraud detection. It categorizes MRI and X-ray images to help with medical diagnoses, and it even extracts and sorts opinions into positive, negative, or neutral buckets for customer sentiment analysis. Basically, it analyzes existing samples to determine the most accurate label.
So the crucial point here is that generative AI, the artist, does something fundamentally different. It doesn't just categorize existing stuff. It relies on complex internal representations to generate something entirely novel. These generative models learn the underlying patterns of existing data and then use architectures like GANs, which stands for Generative Adversarial Networks, and transformers to produce completely new content. In fact, fun fact, that transformer architecture, that's the T in ChatGPT. It's exactly what allows these systems to write human-like text, generate stunning images, and synthesize incredibly realistic audio.
Moving to our final part, Section 4, Ethical Impacts and Guardrails. Let's talk about safety frameworks.
With AI making genuinely critical decisions about people's lives and livelihoods these days, the importance of guardrails honestly cannot be overstated. A massive challenge in AI development is that skewed training data inevitably leads to skewed outputs. It is your classic garbage in, garbage out dilemma. If an AI is trained on biased data, it's going to reproduce or even amplify those prejudices, which leads to false, unfair, or just plain offensive outputs. And this is exactly why practices like algorithmic auditing are so vital. It involves the regular evaluation of models to actively mitigate bias, ensuring fairness and performance across all demographic subgroups.
To actively combat these ethical challenges, developers utilize structured bias mitigation strategies. First up, diverse data collection. This ensures the training material actually reflects reality. Second, inclusive model development, which means having diverse teams actually building the models. Third, and this is a really critical breakthrough, they use explainable AI frameworks like LIME or SHAP. See, because neural networks often act like complete black boxes, these frameworks actually peek inside. They explain the inner workings of a prediction to provide some much-needed transparency. And finally, continuous monitoring ensures that deployed models are constantly being evaluated. Ultimately, interpretability is what builds trust.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground in this explainer today. We decoded the basics of AI, we contrasted the realities of narrow AI with the mind-bending possibilities of general AI, explored how generative and discriminative models shape our digital world, and unpacked those vital ethical guardrails keeping it all safe. But as this technology just continues to accelerate, I want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. As we inevitably transition from the highly efficient narrow AI of today toward the broad, adaptable general AI of tomorrow, how will we ensure that we build the robust guardrails necessary to align these ultimate systems with human values? It's a massive question, and honestly, it's the one that will define our next era of technological evolution. Thank you so much for joining me to explore the fascinating world of artificial intelligence today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.